Oh God, Ellen Barkin.
Thank you.
I made a video covering this. I don't know. It's not that interesting either. But Johnny Depp smashed a wine bottle. That was from 2019.
Good morning, Ms. Barkin.
Do you guys recognize her?
I think the first thing that would be very short but very simple and clean for the record is if you could just describe kind of your career background. I know it's
And this was like 20 or 30 years ago.
Brief summary of kind of when you started working and what you've done during your career.
Some of these windows don't really make much sense. Yeah, they're just really reaching at some point. There's this article I was just reading out that was hilarious. Amber Heard hired a PI to dig up some dirt on Johnny, and he said he interviewed over 100 people, and he found no, like, everyone just said they had really good things to say about Johnny. And then he leaked that. Why is that out loud? I don't know. Maybe it's supposed, I don't know. Who's a lawyer in here? I'll watch court TV and they'll tell me maybe.
I started acting professionally about 26 or 7. And I
hope my hair is like that when I'm old, though.
Movies,
Fucking love
lots
it.
of them.
Love her hair.
That's what I did for 40 years.
And in the course of your career acting in theater, television, movies, etc., did you come to meet a person by the name of Johnny Depp?
Yes.
Can you specify in time, Ms. Barkin, when you met him?
I would say 1990.
And upon or after
1990.
meeting him, did there come a time when you became friends?
Yes.
30 years,
Can
yeah.
you describe how that happened?
We just developed a friendship over time that lasted, I guess, if we met in the 90s, maybe 10 years or a little less.
And fair to say that Mr. Depp at the time was also an actor, a professional actor?
Yes.
Were you, did you act in any film, stage, or TV productions with Mr. Depp?
Yes, I was in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
How often would you see Mr. Depp?
Oh, if you don't recognize her, this is what she looked like back then.
When I lived in New York, usually whenever I go to LA, if I were in LA, I'd see him once a week, maybe more. I mean, the friendship went up and down, living on different coasts.
Yeah, I didn't recognize her
And,
here, but I recognized
did
her
there
face here.
come a time when your friendship with Mr. Depp became more than that?
That's what
became
people said,
romantic
Shiny.
in nature?
Yes.
And at what point in time did your relationship with Mr. Depp take a romantic turn?
After I had moved to Hollywood, and he, you know, switched the buttons.
Recall what year you moved to Hollywood?
Yes, 1994.
When you said switch the buttons, can you tell me what you meant by that?
The friendship
1994.
went from a purely platonic friendship.
One in chat if you were born
too romantic.
around that time or before. 2 in chat if you weren't even born yet. So long
At
ago.
that point in 1994, when the relationship turned romantic, to your
Can I
knowledge,
change that to sexual?
to sexual.
Thank you.
Wait, what?
For how long did your relationship with Mr. Depp remain sexual?
Several months. Anywhere between 3 and 5, 6.
1, 1, 1, 2.
And
was
during
11.
that period, how often would you see Mr.
You're
Depp?
4.
That period.
Yeah,
when
how
it was
old were you in
sexual.
1994?
So I'd see him 3 or 4 times a week.
2, I wasn't born yet.
And again, I'm not looking to pry into private details, but can you tell me like where you would see him?
How big
Just
was
give
his
me some
dick?
sense of that.
Yeah, he would come to my house, or I would go to his house.
And both houses in LA?
Yes, about 10-minute drive apart from each other.
And
Oh, she's like my... Oh, no, never mind. She's
Either
my
when you were
mom's
at
age.
his
Just kidding. My mom's
house,
not that old.
When
High
you
school,
didn't stay the
94?
night, or were you at his house when you did stay the night? Were there other people in the house?
16,
who saw
0.
you? Who would those people be?
Any negative fives?
He had an assistant. His sister. That's all I can remember now.
You recall the name of the assistant?
I don't know his name. He was referred to as Pig.
He was referred to by whom as Pig?
Johnny Depp.
At any
Wait, who?
point that you were either initially friends and then sexual with Mr. Depp, did you become aware that he
Johnny shook his head.
drank to excess?
I was always aware.
Okay, and can you explain how you were aware of that?
He was drunk all the time, a lot of the time.
In 1994.
And that would apply both to when you were initially friends and then later when it became.
When I was in my 20s, or even, I don't know, maybe late teen 20s. No, I think it was 20s. It was when I was in college. There was a time where I was drunk like all the fucking time and like blackout drunk and stuff. My God.
Sexual.
Can you imagine if someone, like one of your exes, like exposed you from like 20, 30 years ago? Yeah, they were drinking all the time. They were just partying, playing beer pong all the time, playing flip cup all the time.
Yeah.
And what was he drunk? What would your understanding? What had he drunk to become drunk?
He was a red wine drinker.
Yeah, this was 30 years ago.
Okay. In addition to alcohol, were you aware at that time that Mr. Depp was taking any prescription medication?
No.
Me neither, lady.
Same question.
Yo, I usually rode
Mr.
up to work
Barkin, for
hungover, and I was a
illegal
waitress.
Substances.
Yeah.
Whenever
Same
the customer ordered
question.
alcohol,
What
I
illegal
couldn't even like
substances?
serve it.
Hallucinogenics. Cocaine. Marijuana.
Hallucinogenics. Can you say specifically what those were?
I don't really know.
How old was Johnny
Called me and told me he
in
was
1994?
tripping.
Mid-20s, right? Shit, I did a lot of drugs too.
With respect to any of that, hallucinogenics, cocaine, or marijuana, did he do any of that in your presence?
Yes,
More than once?
all the time.
When you say all the time, how many times, again, in the period that you were both first friends and then
He
sexual with Mr.
was
Depp?
31 years
think
old
you
in
saw him?
I couldn't even
1994.
tell you. I mean, I just know he was always drinking and or smoking a joint.
But would it be fair to say more than at least dozens of times?
Yeah. Over the full course, oh yeah.
How old am I? I don't know. I always forget. 31, 32, 33.
Did you ever observe, Ms. Barkin, Mr. Depp's behavior change when he drank
Like lose
more
count
or
after like
used more
25.
drugs?
It's
I did not.
So he was kind of the same all the time, fair to say?
Yeah, someone else also made a comment that during Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, or just Johnny Depp in general, he when he does movies, he like immerses himself in his movies, like even when he's not filming. But I don't know. Someone just said that. I don't know. Why do we care about this? This is so long ago. Jeez.
It was not the same. He was high.
Did there come a time,
As you get older, you mellow out.
Ms. Barkin, when Mr.
Oh,
Depp
method acting?
acted in a way that
Apparently,
was
Ellen Barkin was accused of
out of control with you?
something, wasn't she?
Yes.
I was trying to find who she was. I found
Mr.
like
Depp threw a wine bottle across the room, the hotel room on one instance in Las Vegas while we were shooting Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Was something about to happen
A fight was going on
between you and Mr. Depp?
But she said she
No.
didn't see it happen though.
What
In
was
the
fight between you?
between Johnny Depp and his friends in the room, the assistant. Honestly, I don't remember.
And the bottle that, do you remember sitting here today, Ms. Barkin, whether the bottle was full of wine or empty?
I don't.
Sitting here today, Ms. Barkin, do you remember whether the bottle hit you?
No, it did not.
Did the bottle hit anyone else?
No, it did not.
Approximately how far away from you was Mr. Depp when he threw the bottle?
Across the room, so maybe by that break in the table or a little further down.
Let us see.
It was a toss.
And
Wow.
sitting here today, if the bottle had hit you, would it have injured you?
Sure.
Ms. Barkin, was it your understanding back then that he was throwing the bottle at you?
I don't know why he threw the bottle.
And was it, when he threw it, was it in your direction?
Yes.
Were there other people standing around you?
Yes.
So he threw it in your direction at a group of people?
Yes.
Whose hotel room was it?
His, Johnny Depp's.
Who broke off?
He did.
How did it come about that Mr. Depp broke off your relationship?
I went to go home. There was a big goodbye, crying, a lot of jealous, don't do this, don't do that. And
He's laughing.
I never heard from him again after that.
And did
Wait, he was crying and he was jealous of her seeing people, but then he ghosted her? What? Wait, what? Does that make sense? Why would you ghost someone if you're like really jealous about them and
I went to go home. There was a big goodbye, crying, a lot of jealous, don't do this, don't do that. And I never heard from him again after that.
Why the fuck would he care what you're doing if he ghosted you?
And did Mr. Depp not want you to go back to Los Angeles at the time?
Yes, he didn't want me to go. I was only supposed to be
His lawyer,
Oh, what the fuck?
Jake Bloom.
Did you testify?
What happened?
Sexual with Mr. Depp? Do you remember more or direction at a group of people?
Yes. I never heard from him again after that.
And did Mr. Depp not want you to go back to Los Angeles at the time?
Yes, he didn't want me to go. I was only supposed to be there for 2 days. I stayed for longer.
I don't know, honey.
And you just referenced, you just used the word jealous. How did that come up? What did he say that indicated to you that he was jealous?
He's just a jealous man, controlling. Where are you going? Who are you going with? What did you do last night? I had a scratch on my back once that got him very, very angry because he insisted it came from me having sex with a person who wasn't him.
During the time that you were in a sexual relationship with Mr. Depp, was it common for him to say things to you about being controlling, to use your words, or being jealous of you?
Yeah, very common.
And when, in these instances, when Mr. Depp became jealous or controlling, did he also become angry?
Yeah. And demanding.
All right.
Why do we just
Ladies and
like cut out like certain words? Oh,
It's going to take
God.
our afternoon recess. Please do not
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I think I might have tried watching that when I was really young, but I didn't understand it. I thought it was too crazy for me. It's probably one of those movies where I have to rewatch it again when I'm older. What do we think so far? Weak sauce. Amber's strongest witness was her makeup artist, I guess. But everyone else is just kind of like meh. You actually like Fear and Loathing? Yeah, I have to rewatch it. What is this?
Let's show them a clip here, Johnny. Public Enemies opens July 1st, and what are we going to see?
I don't know.
Oh, that's right. What are we going to see here?
I have no idea.
Let's take a look at a clip here, Mr. Depp. What are we going to see? The film opens April 18th. You know what we're looking at here?
This is something from the film Transcendence.
What is the clip here, Johnny?
I have no idea.
No, for God's sake.